Passing the torch, especially when that torch is the very beacon of hope for an entire planet, is an intensive piece of work. It's a job that demands not just incredible strength, but a dedicated will and an unparalleled sense of responsibility. Imagine stepping into the shadow of a predecessor who isn't even inherently human, yet stands as the Earth's greatest protector and someone who is a living embodiment of truth and justice. Someone whose name echoes with courage and unwavering dedication, Superman. But the time has come for a new generation and a new hero who's ready to bear that colossal weight, and that hero is Clark Kent's protege, his son, Superboy, or simply Jonathan Kent. Origins. Jonathan Kent is the firstborn son of the Kryptonian superhero Superman and Lois Lane, a renowned news reporter. His full name, Jonathan Samuel Kent, is a tribute to his grandfathers, Jonathan Kent, his paternal adoptive grandfather, and Samuel Lane, his maternal grandfather. Following the Convergence event, the post-Crisis on Infinite Earths versions of Clark Kent and Lois Lane found themselves in the post-Flashpoint reality. To avoid confusion and maintain anonymity from their counterparts in this new reality, they adopted alternative surnames. Initially, they used White, possibly as an homage to their Daily Planet boss, Perry White. This surname was used during John's early childhood on the west coast of the United States. Later, upon their relocation to Hamilton County, near Metropolis, they began using the more generic Smith surname. Jonathan's heroic journey began early, as he started fighting crime as Superboy at the age of 10. But a pivotal moment occurred when he was 11. An accident caused him to experience time differently, sort of like skipping ahead for several weeks, resulting in his return as a 17-year-old. His subsequent heroic and diplomatic actions within the intergalactic community earned him an invitation to join the Legion of Superheroes in the 31st century. Upon his return to the present, John assumed the mantle of the new Superman, succeeding his father, who had departed Earth for a mission on Warworld. As the first Earth-born Superman, John was aimed to redefine the role, focusing on new approaches to truth, justice, and a better world. History and development. Jonathan's birth during the Convergence event was very perilous, with both Lois and the unborn John jeopardized by the Flashpoint universe's Kal-El. Superman, aided by the Flashpoint Batman, ensured their safety and John's delivery. Following this, John and his parents participated in the first Crisis event to prevent the multiverse's collapse. Their subsequent stranding on a different Earth necessitated their adoption of the White surname. During the rebirth period, John's history underwent revision. In this updated account, he was born shortly after his parents' marriage amidst an attempted extragalactic invasion. Clark Kent was dissuaded from joining the battle by Martian Manhunter and John Stewart, who emphasized his presence was needed for John's birth. Batman stood guard outside the Fortress of Solitude, while Wonder Woman assisted Lois. After Clark's arrival, Diana ceded her position to him. John was named Jonathan Samuel Kent, and both Batman and Wonder Woman acknowledged his immense future potential. John spent his early childhood unaware of his parents' secret identities. However, their unusual behavior, including his father's surreptitious superhero activities and his mother's pseudonym's writing, fostered his suspicion. This came to a head when John and Lois were kidnapped by Bruno Mannheim and Intergang, an event that triggered the manifestation of John's inherited superpowers. Following their rescue by Superman, John learned the truth about his family's origins. After discovering his powers, John accidentally manifested heat vision, unintentionally burning his cat, Goldie. Subsequently, the family confronted the Eradicator, who sought to absorb John's Kryptonian essence. Their conflict culminated in the Batcave on the moon, where Lois, utilizing one of Batman's suits, aided John and Superman in defeating the entity. Following these events, Clark helps John establish a secret identity by providing him with a hat and glasses. Superman then introduced John as Superboy to Batman and Wonder Woman at the Justice League Watchtower, marking his public debut among the superhero community. But an early challenge in John's development involved an attempted nighttime flight against his father's advice. This resulted in him getting lost, prompting a desperate search by Superman and the Justice League. Batman and Nightwing eventually located him in a small cave that he had carved himself with his heat vision. Nightwing, easing John's apprehension towards Batman, offered him candy and comforted him. Clark's subsequent arrival provided further reassurance. This incident profoundly impacted John, leading him to consistently admire Nightwing in the years that followed. Major roles of Jonathan Kent in DC Comics. Jonathan Kent carved out a significant place for himself in the DC Comics universe by often operating both independently and in collaboration with his famous father. His journey is a testament to his personal growth, the formidable challenges he has faced, and his evolving understanding of what it means to be a hero. One of Jon's earliest forays into adventure was humorously dubbed Science Project Gone Awry, which began with a simple school assignment that involved him building a flying saucer. His father, Superman, took him to the Fortress of Solitude to help, but an unforeseen malfunction transported Jon, Superman, and their loyal superdog Krypto to Dinosaur Island. Here they encountered Captain William Storm, the sole survivor of the Losers, who aided them in finding their way back. During a perilous battle with the island's mutated creatures, Captain Storm made the brave choice to remain behind, ensuring the creatures wouldn't follow them home. This incident served as an early indicator of Jon's emerging powers and the extraordinary dangers that would become a regular part of his life. A defining chapter in Jon's early superhero career unfolded during In the Name of the Father, which chronicled his initial interactions with Damian Wayne, Batman's son and the current Robin. Their first meeting, sparked by Jon accidentally torching the woodlands near Hamilton, quickly escalated into a series of brawls, further complicated by the arrival of their fathers, Batman and Superman, who initially blamed each other. Jon's use of his freeze breath to separate the arguing superheroes showcased his burgeoning abilities. To instill teamwork, their fathers put them through a series of challenges, which they repeatedly failed due to their mutual animosity. It was only when they genuinely cooperated to save their fathers from a perceived threat, which was later revealed to be a ruse, that Alfred Pennyworth famously declared them the Super Sons, cementing their partnership. Jon's very existence was put to the test in the Superman Reborn storyline. Mxyzptlk, a powerful fifth-dimensional imp, sought revenge on Superman by attempting to erase Jon from history and his parents' memories. With Lois already forgetting their son, Superman agreed to Mxyzptlk's game, which happened to be an obstacle course called the Infinite Planet. Upon completing it, Jon emerged infused with the essence of the Prime Earth versions of his parents, who had never married or had him in their timeline. Displaying a remarkable sense of maturity, Jon convinced his parents, who were displaced from their realities, to merge with their alternate counterparts, forming a single unified Superman and Lois Lane with both their histories. This act fundamentally rewrote the Superman family's past, solidifying Jon's place in their timeline. As the Super Sons, Jon and Damian embarked on numerous adventures, including their conflict in Super Sons vs. Kid Amazo. Jon was reluctantly recruited by Robin to investigate break-ins at LexCorp, a task complicated by Lex Luthor's attempts to capture them. They tracked the culprits to a family with the powers from the Amazo virus, one of whom, Reggie Meyer, had gone insane and become Kid Amazo. With the unexpected help of Lex Luthor and Reggie's sister, the Super Sons defeated him. Though disciplined for their unauthorized escapades, they were ultimately given permission to continue adventuring, provided they always stuck together. This period also saw them establish their secret base, affectionately nicknamed the Fortress of Attitude by Jon. The Black Dawn storyline focused on the mystery surrounding Jon's inconsistent powers. A visit from Batman, who suspected an environmental factor was suppressing Jon's abilities, led to Batman being attacked by a strange alien substance. When he didn't return, Superman, Robin, and Superboy embarked on a search, during which Jon was forced to kill a squid monster in self-defense, prompting a serious discussion with his father. It was later revealed that Manchester Black was the true villain, having manipulated events to groom Jon as his protégé. Under Black's mind control, Jon was forced to fight Superman, his powers pushed to their limits. Jon eventually broke free and, with the help of his neighbor Kathy, defeated Black. 3 weeks later, Jon's powers fully returned, and he achieved the monumental milestone of flight. Following these events, the Kent family relocated to Metropolis, ushering in the moving to Metropolis phase of Jon's life. He was permitted to patrol with Robin, albeit with a curfew. During one patrol, they encountered the Teen Titans. Though Starfire invited Superboy to join, Robin, citing Jon's young age, declined. When the Titans were later defeated by Adam Master and Chun Yul, they sought Jon's help, and with his assistance, they easily triumphed. Jon and Robin continued investigating the villain's origins, leading them through an interdimensional portal to Egaris, a living planet, further expanding their scope of adventures. It was also during this period that Jon learned the shocking truth of his father's past death at the hands of Doomsday. a secret his parents had guarded, and later helped his father in a confrontation with Doombreaker. A significant crisis for the Super Sons unfolded in Super Sons of Tomorrow. An alternate future, Tim Drake traveled back in time to kill John, believing it would prevent a future cataclysm. In a panic, John accidentally developed a new and destructive power called the Super Flare, which caused massive damage. On the run, John and Damian freed Superman from a red kryptonite cage. As the crisis escalated, John's Super Flare threatened an even larger detonation. Tim Drake from the future bravely sacrificed himself by absorbing the blast and pulling himself into hypertime, saving everyone. Despite Superman's initial threat to disband them, the boys stood firm, asserting their friendship, and Superman ultimately relented. Later, a vote to allow John to join the Teen Titans part-time failed, as only Damian supported it. John's exploring space journey began after his traumatic encounter with future Tim Drake left him feeling insecure. When his time-displaced grandfather, Jor-El, offered to take him on a trip through space, John tearfully revealed his anxieties, convincing his parents to allow him and Lois to go. However, during their longest trip to the galaxy and return to Earth, their ship fell into a black hole. John crashed on Earth 3, where he was imprisoned by Ultraman for years in a volcano. He eventually escaped, helping those in need before returning to Earth with Jor-El's help. Astonishingly, while years had passed for John, only 3 weeks had passed on Earth, a stark reminder of the complexities of multiversal travel. But John's diplomatic skills came to the forefront during Legion of Superheroes. After a battle against Rogol Zar, John suggested forming the United Planets, demonstrating his foresight for intergalactic cooperation. Soon after, the Legion of Superheroes appeared, offering him a role in their future-based team, acknowledging his vital importance to the cosmos. As part of the Infinite Frontier era, John's roles continued to expand. In Fall of the Golden Age, he fought mysterious alien creatures alongside his father. John heroically protected Superman from a foreseen death and sealed a dimensional breach, prompting him to question historical accounts of his father's fate. He also investigated a dead shadow breed and found a mysterious cage-like device. His most significant role emerged in For a Better World, where John became the new Superman on Earth after his father departed for Warworld. He began to challenge traditional superhero methods, seeking to solve larger systematic problems, guided by an underground news stream called The Truth. John's attempt at college under an alias was cut short when his true identity was revealed. He received keys to the Second Fortress of Solitude and a new suit from his father. Listening to The Truth, John rescued asylum seekers from Gamora Island, where he met Jane Nakamura, the founder of The Truth, with whom he would later form a romantic relationship. John's efforts to protect Gamoran refugees led to his arrest and a confrontation with President Henry Bendix, who attacked the Kent farm. John saved his family. Realizing Jay also had powers, he later exposed Senator James Henderson's involvement in human trafficking for Bendix's experiments. John also had a pivotal meeting with the Dreamer, Nia Nal, in the Fortress of Solitude, who warned him of a future massacre, and he recognized her connection to the 31st century. In a storyline dubbed Homecoming, John was visited by Batman, who left him a crystal containing an AI based on his father, offering advice regarding Lex Luthor. When Luthor returned to Metropolis, John confronted him after his robots malfunctioned. John and Luthor briefly teamed up, and John later challenged Luthor to a chess game, winning, and symbolically taking down part of the LexCorp sign, leaving it as X-Corp, while discussing Luthor's potential for positive change. Finally, John's role extended to multiversal travel and the Injustice Saga. He pursued Ultraman across the multiverse, where Ultraman was systematically murdering versions of Superman. John bravely confronted Ultraman on Earth 49, eventually overpowering him with his energy abilities, though it left him exhausted. This world's Superman, who recognized John as his son, attempted to draw him into his tyrannical regime. John, however, quickly discerned this Superman ruled by fear. After consulting with Jay Nakamura's doppelganger and learning of the regime's atrocities, John decided to stop him. Though weakened, John powered up, taking down regime members and confronting this world's Wonder Woman and Damian. Ultimately, John chose a path of empathy, embracing this Superman and urging him to remember his true self before being blasted back to his reality, leaving a lasting impact on the alternate Superman. Powers and abilities. Superman possesses a formidable range of powers and abilities, stemming from his unique Kryptonian human hybrid physiology. This genetic blend, combined with exposure to a yellow sun, grants him a power potential that Batman's research suggests could even surpass his father's, Superman's, or his cousin, Supergirl's, due to the unique properties of his hybrid cells. At the foundation of John's abilities is solar radiation absorption. His Kryptonian cellular structure allows him to continuously absorb, store, and metabolize solar radiation from yellow suns. This absorbed energy fuels his incredible powers. Superman himself has noted that John's cells ignite with the power of a supernova. This stored energy manifests as invulnerability. John's body is almost invulnerable due to its superhumanly dense cellular and anatomical structure, supplemented by a radiating bioelectrical aura. While initially inconsistent in his youth, evidenced by scraped knees and concussions, his durability has significantly increased. He has withstood impacts from tree branches and even Robin's batarangs. He has also been slammed through buildings and engaged in combat with powerful beings like other Kryptonians. His invulnerability also extends to protection against toxins, poisons, and diseases. During the Dark Crisis event, John demonstrated immense durability by confronting the entire Dark Army and surviving a combined physical assault from formidable foes like Doomsday, Neron, Eclipso, Ares, and Darkseid's Omega Beams. John possesses incredible superhuman strength, a direct result of his half-Kryptonian lineage. He can handle tens of thousands of pounds, having stunned a large flying dinosaur with a single punch and stopped a speeding train. His mother, Lois Lane, has affirmed his capability to easily lift automobiles and large boulders. He is proven capable of fighting powerful adversaries, including full-grown Kryptonians like General Zod, monsters such as Rogol-Zar, and even gods like Ares. Batman has also observed that John's strength is developing at an astonishing rate, potentially making him stronger than his father or cousin. This strength also allows for super leaping, enabling him to jump immense distances and land safely. His superhuman stamina is exceptionally high. While he can operate for substantial periods without tiring, he still requires rest or relaxation. A defining Kryptonian power John wields is flight. He manipulates graviton particles, defying gravity to achieve flight at speeds comparable to his father's. Notably, John has even outraced Superman on occasion. John's senses are greatly superhuman, allowing him to perceive the world with far greater detail than humans. This includes enhanced visual perception, allowing him to rapidly scan vast amounts of visual data, such as 175 hours of surveillance video in mere seconds. His X-ray vision allows him to see through solid objects, while electromagnetic spectrum vision grants him the ability to perceive all frequencies of the EM spectrum, including radio and television broadcasts, which aids in avoiding detection. He also possesses telescopic vision, allowing him to see objects at great distances, such as the Cosmos 1 space station in orbit, and microscopic vision, which enables him to see down to the subatomic level. Furthermore, his olfactory sense is acute enough to detect odors across an entire city. Hearing was among his first manifested powers, allowing him to discern conversations from afar or hear individual heartbeats. His eyes can project heat vision, powerful enough to singe his father's skin and cause significant collateral damage. John demonstrates fine control over this ability, even welding a cape to his jacket with precision. Uniquely, he has shown better control than his father, capable of detonating his heat vision mid-air like a bomb and accessing a hyper-violet spectrum that produces far more powerful blasts. John can also unleash a solar flare, expelling massive bursts of stored solar energy in explosive shockwaves. These blasts are capable of widespread destruction akin to a nuclear explosion. However, due to his human heritage, he has historically had very little control over this potent ability. His vocal abilities include super breath, powerful enough to shatter windows, and the capacity to project cold blasts to create ice. He is also learning to project hurricane force winds. A unique aspect of John's hybrid physiology is his energy transference ability, allowing him to manipulate his stored solar energy in ways distinct from an average Kryptonian. This power, which he began manifesting after confronting Bendix and was uncontrollably unlocked by Lazarus Resin's exposure, allows him to temporarily boost his baseline powers or display new abilities. This includes electrokinesis, where his body emits stored solar energy as powerful electrical energy. He can manipulate this electricity for various effects, such as electroblast from his hands or entire body. He can also use this stored energy for enhanced speed, allowing him to run and fly faster than a typical Kryptonian or even the Wonder Woman of Earth-49, whose speed rivals the god Hermes, and for enhanced strength, to even boost his physical power to overpower even beings like Ultraman with a few blows. Beyond his powers, John possesses practical abilities. He has learned heavy machinery operation from Superman, capable of driving the family tractor and even a semi-truck. His indomitable will is strong enough to overcome sophisticated attacks like Time Commander's time freeze. He is also multilingual and proficient in stealth, capable of moving undetected even by skilled individuals like Robin. But despite his immense powers, Jonathan Kent faces several significant vulnerabilities. His power instability from the past, which he has now largely overcome, was a major concern. In his younger years, his Kryptonian powers, particularly his invulnerability, were inconsistent and highly susceptible to his emotions. This fluctuation was later revealed to be a result of Manchester Black's machinations, and his powers stabilized after Black's defeat. Like his father, John is profoundly vulnerable to kryptonite radiation due to his half-Kryptonian DNA. Exposure to this element causes him pain and weakness. John also has a vulnerability to psionics. His inexperience in countering psychic attacks makes him susceptible, especially if these attacks target his powers directly. However, an essential vulnerability for John is his solar energy dependency. Keep in mind that all Kryptonians need a constant level of exposure to a yellow sun to maintain their powers. And so does John. Without it, he'll have to face consequences, and his abilities will gradually fade, eventually leaving him defenseless. Additionally, John is susceptible to magic. His Kryptonian body offers no natural protection against mystical attacks, making him as vulnerable to spells and magical forces as any human. This can also lead to power loss. If he overuses his stored solar energy, especially with abilities like his solar flare or energy transference, he can become temporarily exhausted and powerless until he recharges under yellow sunlight. The modern Superman. In October 2021, DC Comics made a significant announcement regarding Jonathan Kent's life. The character was revealed to be bisexual, initiating a romantic relationship with his friend, Jay Nakamura, an online activist and superhero. Series writer Tom Taylor stated that the decision was not a gimmick, but a conscious effort to ensure more inclusive representation in the modern DC universe. Taylor explained his view that a new Superman should embody broader diversity, noting it would be a missed opportunity to have another straight white savior if they were introducing a new Superman for the current era. The reveal was strategically placed in Superman, Son of Kal-El #5, rather than earlier, to allow John to first establish himself as Superman before his sexuality became a public aspect of his character. Taylor further expressed gratitude to DC and Warner Brothers for allowing him to share the vision that everyone needs heroes and everyone deserves to see themselves in their heroes. Additionally, to reinforce the ideals that Superman's symbol of hope, truth, and justice now represents an even wider audience. Marvelous verdict. And with that, we've reached the end of this character study of Jonathan Kent, aka Superboy, the son of Clark Kent and Lois Lane. John's incredible journey, from his unique beginnings as a hybrid hero to his crucial role in shaping the DC Universe's future, really highlights themes of heroism, identity, and change. He's truly carrying on the Superman legacy while building his path. With the upcoming Superman film set to begin a revamped DC cinematic universe, we can hope to see a live-action Superboy character soon, possibly playing a key part in future movies too. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like and do share it with your friends. And please feel free to subscribe to Marvelous Videos for more content. Until next time, take care. Ciao!